Welcome back to the channel this morning. If you're new here, welcome to the channel this morning. This is going to be part 2 of the turbo removal on the 6.7 liter, this Ford F450. And you saw part 1 where I took the intake upper and lower off and disconnected everything to get to the turbo. There were some band clamps on the back side and then through the passenger fender well. And those clamps are off, and I will show you how to get those off. And the turbo is ready to come out, and I will set this up so you guys can see me pull the turbo out, and then we're going to look at the turbo. You already saw where it failed, but we're going to take a closer look at it. So turn this around, that way you can see down inside the fender well with the band clamp I was talking about, and then we'll go back up top and watch me pull the turbo out. You can see right over there to the lower left there's that squishy clamp, and then right above that there's the 10mm bolt, and then if you look straight up above that, there's that clamp that's just hanging down there. That's the pain in the butt one to get to. And let's go up top. The trick is my good buddy A-Rod with Powerstroke Tech Talk. Air hammer. I didn't have a really long one, so I ended up using like my pry bar. Get it up in there on the side of the clamp. Hit it with the air hammer on the other end, and it popped that clamp right off. We'll go back up here. And now this bad boy is ready to come out. Let's see back here. See the clamp? There's another clamp. Right here. There, and that clamp, and it's free, and I'm going to remove the turbo, and I'm going to set this up so you guys can watch me pull it out of here. Remember, our failure point was in here, but I want to pull these off if I can. And let me get set up so we can watch me pull this thing out. That bad boy right there, we're going to pull that out. And it takes a little bit of finagling to get it out of here, but we can do it, right? This bad boy is not light. Gasket. Band clamp. Band clamp. Pretty. And I will show you guys what's going on down in here. But this is the heavy turbo. And here we are in the valley. This is the pedestal that it sits on. There's a little, oh, you can't see it, my finger's sitting right on it. It's a peg and a peg. There's a gasket. It sits down, connects there, there, and there. So I gotta put all new clamps on here. And that's the 10mm bolt that I was telling you about from the passenger side fender well. So you gotta loosen that bolt. And then once you, that's the pain in the butt part, is actually getting this clamp. But A-Rod from Powerstroke Tech Talk told me, you know, get you a air hammer and bump it. So I'm gonna get all this cleaned up and we'll get it prepped for the new one to install. All right, our new turbo's installed. The clamps are tight. There's one back there, and then there's one way down there at the bottom. And then my hold down bolts, these are just finger tight, and you probably, I don't know if you can see that one, yeah, right there. And there's one on the other side, down in there. There it is. They're just finger tight right now. They get tightened to 41 foot-pounds, and I'll torque those down in a minute. And then I'll put my heat shield on. So my coolant line's connected. This is the oil feed tube. It came off of the other one. Goes up, coolant. And then got the hose clamps tight. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to torque down these bolts down here. And then I'm going to put on the heat shield. Obviously I'm going to plug this little guy back in. Clean all that up. And then install the intake. And that will be it. So without further ado, it's a 13 mil. So I'm going to do this one-handed here. Let's get that light out of here. It's dead. "41 foot-pounds. Let's torque it. Hear the gasket crushing. So what am I at now? 9. "41. Now if I can get to that one downhill, might be kind of hard to see down there, but let me torque these and we'll come right back. All right, just changed the O-ring on my coolant pipe, which goes right here, and set this down, pull this out. I'm going to tighten that back down. But the one up top, I'll leave loose. So I can get the upper intake on. And that's an 8 mil. And then I'll be able to tighten that down once I get everything going. I'm going to clean off these surfaces right here. And yes, that was brake cleaner. Finish cleaning all this up. Here we have our lower intake. Remember, 2 short bolts, 1 long bolt, and it sits 2 short, 1 long, and then CCV hooks up right here, which is this hose. Now obviously hooks down onto the turbo as well. On the turbo, short, short, long, and this is a 10. There's no gasket underneath here, so it doesn't have to be super duper tight. That's 8. And guess we could go ahead and get that tightened up, huh? that. Ten. 10. 10. I'm just snugging them down. And then we got some new gaskets and new bolts for the EGR. Alright, lower intake's bolted on. New bolts for the EGR crossover, new gaskets. The sensor is plugged in. Throttle body is plugged in. CCV is connected and plugged in. And all that's left to do is slap that upper intake on there and then put this tubing in here, but I'm going to change the gaskets out on the upper intake. Everything's connected back there, heat shields on, everything's good to go. So the next time you see me, the intake will be on and probably be driving. So I appreciate it. All right, got the coolant pool. Everything's all put back together, all nice. And I've already drove it once, and we're gonna go drive it again, all right? We got boost. This thing's running smooth. Well, that's it. Turbo's on. Test driving now. Riding good. Make sure you stick around so you can see what happened, because there's about a 1.5-minute video where I took the turbo apart. So make sure you stick around for that. Appreciate it, you guys. Love you. See you on the next one.